Hello, fellow blade enthusiasts. I know y'all like sharp things, and it's St. Patrick's Day, so perhaps you're cutting up corned beef and cabbage like I did this morning, actually this afternoon. I wanted to just tell you what I'm doing because it's quitting time and I made some progress on what you don't want me to make progress on, probably something else, because I got diverted. But here we go. So here's some 3V blades that I've been working on. You can see the karambits are there on the left, and they're kind of challenging to grind, but not nearly as challenging to grind as the swords. So I've got a couple of these Kodiaks that are mostly ground. I've got to clean up the plunge lines, which I'm going to do on this tool right here. Now, this is a radiused end platen that Nathan Crothers made, and this is a platen chiller that he made, and I bought from him a long time ago. And he uses this platen in a different way on the original KMG platen holder thingy, but I made this bracket because I thought I wanted to have the radiused edge right there wrapping around all the way in case I did a thicker plunge, and I wanted it to have consistent contact on the entire radiused surface. Maybe not the best idea, but that's what I did, and it works for the most part. The tracking is difficult because I'm running it just on the contact wheel because I don't have enough room to use the tracking wheel, and I didn't think it through very well when I first made it, but I've been using it anyway. So I'm also got some 3V Wakasagis, and looks like I forgot to do the finish grinding on this side, but that's okay. I still have the belt on the grinder, and anyway, that's going to get cleaned up also with the same attachment, and so that'll be perfectly, as much as I can see with my eyeballs, symmetrical. And I'm going to do the same thing on all these blades. And the Wakasagis and the Tontos, I went ahead and I ground them using my wooden backer plates because that helps keep them straight while I'm grinding, and it keeps me from burning my fingers. Anyway, you can see the scribe line right here, and I missed that one. I went over just a little bit compared to this side, probably. I went over a little bit on both sides. But anyway, I'm going to bring the grind line up a little higher towards the point, and then I'm going to come back with a draw filing operation and come from right here to the end of the blade, so that when the blade is finished, it's going to look pretty much like this, but it'll have a distal taper. So instead of having that sharp 40-degree point at the end, it's going to have a taper down the full length of it and then the 40-degree point, but it'll look like this from the side. And I learned about the distal taper a few years ago from James Williams, and he said it was important. So I'm going to use his advice and do that on my Wakasagis and katanas and Tontos from now on, which is extra work, which is why I'm going to charge more for them in the future. The grind on the Kodiak is a little less involved because it's just a single twisting grind. You can see that the bevel gets more obtuse as it goes towards the point. And the reason I do that is because I want to maintain more meat at the point, because it's kind of a fine point for a longsword anyway, and I don't want it to break off. And I've had good luck with that geometry so far. No complaints, although I'm sure that nobody's actually stabbing these swords into horrible things and then trying to break the points. Although I have tried that, and they're pretty darn strong. On the tomahawk front, I straightened 5 or 6 of these heat-treated tomahawks, and I got tired because it's hard work. There's my torch. So what I do is I look at the tomahawk, and just like the previous video, I use my granite slab, and I use my straight edge, and then I look at the head, and I look at the handle, and then I use a little bit of heat to make sure that things are moving a little bit more fluidly, I suppose. And I don't use much heat. I probably warm them up to about 300 degrees maybe in a localized portion. And then I put them on the press and I massage them into place a little bit. And they're very springy, so it takes a while to get them where they want to be. Then here are the 3V prehensile blades. And I honestly cannot remember if I've made any of these yet. And if I did, it probably would have been the koala. Oh, yeah, that's right. I made some hangry opossums. And I can't remember. I've made so many knives, I just don't remember. But anyway, these are 3V. And if you have a blade and it's got red possum tracks, that means it's 1095. And if it's got blue-ish possum tracks, then it's 3V. And if it's got sort of a greenish possum tracks, greenish gray, like one guy's got some 5160. Because he bought everything that I made in 5160, almost. And there's a couple of swords, I think, in the past that are red possum tracks, and they're 5160, but the people that have those know who they are. Anyway, I'm kind of excited about these little jokers. Of course, I can't use this one at all because it's made for a person with smaller hands. My girlfriend helped me figure out the scale. She's got big hands for a woman, but tiny hands compared to me. It's kind of funny. Anyway, the koala and the Professor Virginianus, MD. And so yeah, anyway, there's the stack of heat-treated tomahawks, and got more straightening to do, and the weather got cold again, so I kind of shifted gears from trying to get painting done to other things. And I also sent off, tomorrow I'm going to go pick up the more blanks, more fodder for the CNC mill. And so we'll get this thing running again next week with Anubis Hidden Tang variants, and do the Don't Spike Yourself model, as well as more full tang Anubis, maybe even a couple of camp axes. So that's what's going on. I don't need to say goodbye. So goodbye. Bye.